Leo, something very strong in your life is about to fall apart this Friday. And it's going to change everything. That's not a warning. It's a signal. If you're here right now, watching this video, I want you to take a deep breath and ask yourself something quietly. What part of your life feels like it's holding on by a thread even if no one else can see it? Because this week, the thread snaps. And not because you've failed, but because life, in its divine timing, knows when something has been holding you back long enough. The moment is coming. And for many of you, it will arrive in the form of a disruption, a truth surfacing, a decision you can't delay anymore, a role you've outgrown finally cracking at the seams. The kind of shift you can't control, can't prepare for, but can't ignore either. You see, the truth is, most of us are taught to keep it together. Especially you, Leo. You're known for being the strong one, the proud one, the one who carries the light even when your own world is falling apart behind the curtain. But strength isn't in pretending it doesn't hurt. Strength is in allowing what's broken to fall so something more honest can be built. And that's exactly what this moment in time is offering you. With Pluto pressing up against your solar energy and the moon quietly washing through Pisces, something deeper is surfacing. You might already feel it. A restlessness in your chest. A knowing you can't quite explain. That's not anxiety. That's your soul trying to get your attention. So let me be honest with you. I've seen this moment come for others. I've sat with people when their tower card showed up just like it's showing up for you now. I've seen the tears, the relief, the fear, the clarity. And I know this, when the tower falls, it's never about punishment. It's about truth. It's about clearing space for something real. And I know this isn't what you came here expecting to hear. But you didn't click this video by accident. You're here because something in you already knew it was time. To stop hiding. To stop holding up a version of your life that no longer reflects who you are. And even though the shift may come suddenly, it's also a gift. Because the universe doesn't just take, it gives. There is a new foundation being laid beneath your feet. There is a new rhythm coming. And yes, it will require you to release what you've outgrown. But it will also offer you something better: clarity, alignment, power from a deeper source. The kind of power that doesn't perform but transforms. So, Leo, I want you to stay with me. Don't rush to conclusions. Don't resist the discomfort. Let's walk through this moment together. Because I believe truly that this could be the week you stop surviving and start becoming. If something inside you knows this message was meant for you, don't brush it off. Write it down. Speak it out. Type it in the comments to make it real. Let this be the sentence that seals the beginning of your shift. I am ready to let go of what's falling apart and make space for what's real. Are you ready? Let's begin. Leo, I know what it feels like when something you've built your identity on starts to crack. From the outside, everything might still look steady: your job, your home, your relationships. But deep down, you can feel the pressure building. You can feel that something foundational is shifting, even if you can't yet explain what or why. And the truth is, you don't need to explain it, not to anyone else. But you do need to face it. That's what the tower moment represents. Not destruction for the sake of chaos, but a breakdown that finally lets you see what's been rotting underneath your so-called structure. Sometimes the most painful part of transformation isn't the loss itself, it's realizing how long you've been carrying something that was never built to last. That might come through a sudden conflict with someone you trusted, a career upheaval that shakes your sense of worth, or simply waking up one day and knowing, without a doubt, that you can't keep doing life the way you've been doing it. And I get it, Leo energy is proud. You've held the roof up for so long that letting it fall can feel like failure. But it isn't. In fact, it's one of the most sacred acts of courage. Because when the tower falls, you're not left with nothing. You're left with the truth. The truth about what matters. The truth about what's real. The truth about what needs to finally, honestly, go. In astrology, this moment is being echoed by Pluto's interaction with your solar chart. Pluto doesn't nibble around the edges. It digs deep. It exposes what's been hidden, ignored, or avoided. And for Leo, this planetary pressure is pushing against the very parts of you that rely on control, image, and performance. It's inviting you actually, it's demanding that you drop the performance. That you stop trying to be everything for everyone. That you come back to what's real, even if it's raw. You might already be feeling this as restlessness, as frustration, as that sinking feeling in your chest when you try to pretend like everything's okay. You might have moments where you're smiling in a room full of people but feel like you're holding back tears. That's not weakness, Leo. That's the truth knocking at your door. And it's not here to shame you. It's here to wake you up. I'm not here to tell you how to fix it all overnight. No one can. But I am here to remind you that when something falls apart, it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your next chapter. You don't have to rebuild the same structure. You can build something new, something aligned with the version of you who's finally done pretending, done performing, done holding everyone else up while your own soul is starving. So if this message is hitting a nerve, pause for a moment. Breathe. Let it settle. And ask yourself quietly, what have I been holding up that's not really mine to carry anymore? Let that question sit in your body. Let it guide you. And when you're ready, I invite you to make it real by saying it out loud or writing it in the comments. Say it clearly, for yourself and for the universe to hear. I am ready to see the truth even if it shakes everything. You don't have to know what comes next. You just have to be willing to stop hiding from what already is. The tower doesn't destroy you. It frees you from what was never truly you to begin with. And sometimes, the most powerful kind of strength is the courage to let it fall. When something collapses in your life, especially when it collapses loudly, unexpectedly, and without your permission, it's easy to believe that all light is lost. But here's what I've seen time and time again. The moment we think the dark has swallowed us whole is also the exact moment when a quieter, steadier light begins to glow. That's what the star represents. And not the kind of light that flashes for attention or demands applause. No. The star is subtle. It doesn't rush. It's the kind of light you feel in your chest before you can even name it, a sense that maybe, just maybe, something good is still possible after all. You see, the star doesn't show up to glue the broken pieces of your old life back together. It's not here to put the mask back on and pretend nothing happened. It's here to guide you towards something more honest, more aligned, more real. And for Leo, that means stepping out from behind the image you've worked so hard to maintain and standing unguarded, unfiltered in the light of your own truth. This isn't about going back to how things used to be. It's about going forward as someone new. Someone shaped by what you've learned. Someone stronger not because they've avoided pain, but because they've walked through it and kept their heart open. In self-help and healing work, we call this a pivot point, the moment where your definition of success starts to shift. Maybe success used to mean stability or status or pleasing others. But now it starts to mean inner peace. Authentic expression. A life that feels good on the inside, not just one that looks good from the outside. And I'll be honest with you, that shift doesn't happen all at once. It's quiet. It's gradual. And sometimes it comes with grief, because you're letting go of dreams you once clung to. But here's what I want you to remember: just because something no longer fits doesn't mean it was a mistake. It just means you've outgrown it. And that's not failure. That's evolution. So what does the star ask of you right now? Nothing extravagant. Nothing performative. It asks you to pause. To soften. To listen to the small voice inside you that's been drowned out by noise and expectation. That voice may not scream. It may not have a 5-year plan. But it knows what's true for you. And it's been waiting for you to come home. If you're ready to reconnect with that voice, here's something simple I suggest. Take 5 minutes each day, just vivito, sit with yourself. No phone. No goals. Just you, your breath, and a willingness to feel what's actually there. And if you're someone who used to dream big but gave those dreams up somewhere along the way, I encourage you to write down 3 of them. They don't have to be realistic. They don't have to make sense. They just have to be yours. Because naming what you long for is the first step to remembering who you are. This is not the end of your story, Leo. The tower may have shaken you. But the star? The star is your reminder that light still lives here. That hope isn't naive. It's sacred. And it belongs to you even now. Especially now. And if you're still with me, if something about this resonates, I invite you to make it known. Say it in the comments. Say it out loud. Say it for yourself: I'm ready to rewrite my story from the inside out. Let the light in. It's been waiting for you. There's a moment, quiet but unmistakable, that comes after the dust of collapse begins to settle. That moment doesn't ask for your panic or your productivity. It doesn't care about what the world expects from you. It simply calls your name, not from outside, but from deep within. And that's the moment the judgment card steps in. For some, it arrives as a nudge. For others, it strikes like lightning. But no matter how it shows up, its message is the same: it's time. You might think of this as an awakening, but not the kind that's sweet or peaceful. It's not about achieving enlightenment on a mountain. It's raw. It's personal. It's the kind of awakening that comes when you realize you've been going through the motions, checking boxes, saying the right things, doing what looks good, but somewhere along the way, you stopped asking yourself if any of it still feels right. That ache in your chest? That restlessness in your gut? That's not anxiety. That's your inner compass starting to spin again. Judgment isn't here to shame you. It's here to realign you. It doesn't say, you've done it wrong. It says, you're ready now to do it honestly. And this kind of readiness doesn't come because you figured everything out. It comes because you've finally stopped pretending that what no longer fits still belongs. Right now, the energy around you is deeply reflective. Astrologically, this is amplified by the planetary alignment of Pluto, the planet of soul deep transformation, and the numerological vibration of the number 3. The 21st day of the month, 2 + 1, symbolizes rebirth, communication, and truth. 3 is the number of expression, of saying what's been locked inside, and giving voice to a version of you that's been waiting for permission to live out loud. But the real question isn't, are you ready for this? Because you might not feel ready at all. The real question is, will you finally stop running from yourself? I've seen this moment in many lives, including my own. The hardest part isn't hearing the call, it's not turning away from it. That's why I want to guide you gently into something simple, but powerful. Place your hand over your chest right now. Close your eyes, if it helps. And ask yourself, not with judgment, but with curiosity, am I living according to my soul's voice, or am I still chasing safety in someone else's dream? There's no shame in how long it took you to get here. No shame in the distractions, the detours, the denial. But there is a deep and necessary shift ahead. And if you don't choose to respond to this call intentionally, the universe will find a way to force your attention. Not to punish you, but to protect what's sacred in you that can no longer be delayed. So instead of waiting for the world to fall apart again, why not pause here, now, and choose to listen? If you feel this message reaching something real inside of you, don't let it fade as just another moment of insight. Anchor it. Speak it. Write it. Breathe it. And if you're ready, even a little bit, I invite you to say it out loud or leave it in the comments as your declaration to yourself. I am ready to face myself, no more avoiding, no more delay. The Judgment card isn't asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to be real. And sometimes, that's the most sacred choice of all. Sometimes the most surprising part of a breakdown isn't what fell apart, it's what appears afterward, quietly, as if it had been waiting just outside the door this entire time. That's the energy of the Ace of Pentacles. When this card arrives after something like the Tower and the wake-up call of Judgment, it's not random. It's intentional. It's the universe placing something solid on your table, not because you earned it through perfection, but because you finally made space for it by letting go of what was never truly yours. The Ace of Pentacles is often misunderstood. People hear money, and they think lottery ticket. They hear opportunity, and they imagine a grand stage. But what this card really brings is grounding. It's the quiet kind of abundance that changes your quality of life from the roots. It might come as an offer from someone unexpected. A job you thought had passed you by. A delayed payment, or a resource that shows up just when you were about to give up. A conversation that opens a door. It's not always flashy, but it's always purposeful. What matters most here isn't just what's being offered, but who you are when it arrives. Because the Ace of Pentacles doesn't attach itself to chaos. It's a seed, and seeds need stability to grow. If you're still clinging to an old version of yourself that felt unworthy, or a belief that everything good must come through struggle, you might not recognize the value of what's being placed in front of you. Or worse, you might turn it away, thinking you don't deserve it. That's why this card comes after the clearing. The Tower stripped away the false structures. The Star reminded you to reconnect with hope. Judgment asked you to be honest about what your soul truly wants. And now, the Ace of Pentacles gives you something real to build with. And this is important, it only works if you're willing to receive it. In the language of the law of attraction, this is what we call the receptive mode. It's the part of manifestation people often overlook. We're so focused on visualizing, pushing, planning, that we forget the most sacred part, making space to receive. The Ace teaches us that sometimes, letting go is the final step before it arrives. You don't have to chase what's yours. But you do have to unclench your fists to hold it. So this week, I want to gently challenge you. Look around. Where in your life are you still gripping too tightly? Where are you saying you want change, but still clinging to old habits, old jobs, old roles, old fears? The universe doesn't take just to punish. It clears space. And now it's offering you something in return, not as compensation, but as alignment. If you felt like everything's been crumbling, but suddenly you're being handed something unexpected, a chance, a shift, a gift, and question it. Trust that your growth has made room for this moment. Let the ground you've been rebuilding become the soil where something new can take root. And if you feel ready, truly ready, stop blocking what's been trying to find you, speak it out. Write it in the comments. Say it for yourself, say it for your future. Open my hands to receive what is already mine. You don't have to fight for every good thing, Leo. Some blessings are meant to come quietly. All you have to do is be ready. Sometimes, after everything has fallen and the silence feels too loud, a new kind of question emerges, not from the mind, but from somewhere deeper. It doesn't sound like a prediction. It doesn't ask you to wait for a sign. It simply whispers, "Now what?" And the truth is, this moment in your journey, Leo, is no longer about what might happen. It's about what you're willing to choose. You see, the tower already fell. The star already pointed to a light that only you could follow. Judgment already rang the bell, calling you back to your truest self. And the Ace of Pentacles, like an offering, placed something real in front of you. But now you stand at the threshold between holding on and moving forward. Between clinging to what's safe and stepping into what's honest. And the real work begins when you realize, no one else can choose for you. That's what makes this part of your story different. It's not about waiting for the universe to give you a sign. It's about owning the fact that you already feel it. That quiet pull in your chest. That knowing you've been brushing aside. That repeated truth that shows up in different conversations, dreams, or random moments of stillness. This isn't just another phase. It's the edge of transformation. Astrologically, this is amplified. The 21st of the month reduces to the number 3 in numerology, 2 + 1, a number that speaks of birth, voice, and alignment. In traditional wisdom, 3 represents not just a beginning, but a re-beginning. A version of you that has been trying to surface through every collapse. It's the sacred moment when a new self tries to be born, not perfectly, but honestly. And here's what I've come to understand, not just from charts and cards, but from real life. No one is ever fully ready when their world changes. No one has the answers in their back pocket. But those who grow the most aren't the ones who had a plan. They're the ones who made a decision. Who let the unknown be a doorway. Who gave themselves permission to not go back. So I want to invite you into something simple. Not as a ritual for show, but as a quiet gesture of clarity. Before the 21st arrives, give yourself a few minutes to pause and be real with yourself. Write down one thing you know you need to release, something you've outgrown, something that drains you, something that no longer reflects who you are becoming. Write one truth you haven't said out loud, maybe to others, or maybe just to yourself. And then write one thing you're finally ready to welcome in. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be complete. But it needs to be yours. Because the truth is, you are not alone in this. Every awakened soul walks through this fire at some point, the moment when life stops being about survival and starts becoming about choice. And though it may feel isolating, I promise you there's a quiet, unseen thread connecting you to others who are choosing just like you are. To release, to rise, to become. So if this moment feels like yours, if this message lands in a place that's been aching for something real, don't let it drift away. Anchor it. Declare it. Let it be heard. You can speak it softly. You can write it in the comments. You can whisper it to yourself before bed. But say it like you mean it. I accept the truth, release the illusion, and open the door to what belongs to me. This is no longer a reading, Leo. It's a reclamation. And the choice is already in your hands. Leo, I know you've walked through fire before. I know you've held it all together when no one else could see the cracks. But this time, the fire wasn't meant to burn you down, it was meant to burn through what no longer belongs. And now, in the stillness that follows the storm, something quiet begins to rise. Not a roar, not yet. Just a steady warmth in your chest. A recognition. A return. You see, when the world outside seems to be falling apart, don't run. Don't fight the rubble. Dig deeper. Because underneath it all, something has been waiting for your permission to grow. A seed of truth, of purpose, of self that could never take root until the old ground was cleared. This has never been about controlling what happens. You know that now. Life will move, shift, surprise. But what you can choose, again and again, is how you move through it. Will you contract or expand? Will you deny what's rising, or let it breathe? Will you dim yourself to fit a space that no longer honors you, or will you rise in the full light of who you're becoming? There is power in this moment, not the kind that shouts, but the kind that whispers through your bones. A power that comes from knowing yourself more deeply than ever before. A power rooted in dignity, in presence, in the quiet courage to show up for yourself with clarity and compassion. So I ask you now, what are you ready to claim? What version of yourself have you been keeping in the shadows, waiting for the right time to emerge? What truth are you finally ready to live, not just believe? Because no card, no transit, no reading matters more than what you choose to do with what's been revealed to you. You don't need a map, you are the flame. You don't need permission, you are the leader of your own becoming. And as you step into this next chapter, I want you to remember one thing. You are not walking into the unknown empty-handed. You're carrying every piece of wisdom your path has given you, every truth you've finally allowed yourself to speak, every tear that cleared the way for your joy. This isn't a breakdown. It's a breakthrough. And I truly hope that when you look back at November 21st, you won't see the wreckage. You'll see the moment you stopped surviving and started living. The moment you decided to no longer just exist in the shell of what used to be, but to rise into the form of who you were always meant to be. If this message stirred something in you, if it reached a part of you that's been waiting for someone to say, yes, it's time, then let that part speak now. Let it be heard. Leave a comment below with the words, I step into my light. I am no longer hiding. And if you believe this message could guide someone else home to themselves, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to Eternal Mindfulness, where every word is rooted in truth and every reading is an invitation back to your power. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart, for being here. You are not alone. And this time, you won't be walking into the light by yourself.